Those of you all who don't know, and let me get this off of here. For those of you all that don't know, Dayton, formerly of, I can't say formerly, Dayton, God Over Money's Dayton, Menace Movement's CEO, Mr. Dayton, has often talked about him being a battle rapper. And he's often said that the reason he respects or he can't do necessarily what Loso, A-Ward, Street Hymns, Saga do, and other people that I'm not naming at this moment do, is because he takes it too seriously. He takes it to a different level, and he doesn't, it wouldn't be the proper environment for Dayton. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, that's, you could still do it. Look at what they're doing. And, as long as you A, B, and C, you'll be all right. But in Dayton's case, from Dayton's point of view, he's like, nah, I used to do that. I can't do that no more. And I wonder if I can actually find a video of him being on, let me see here. Him being on BET's Freestyle Friday. Let me see. Let's see if I can find them. But anyways, if you don't know nothing about Freestyle Friday, oh, there it is. I can't find it. Okay. So anyways, this is one of the videos that he shares very often, just to remind people that he's not lying about his past. So let's see what this looks like. Hold on. Let's see what this looks like. Boom. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, where we at? All right, here we go. We're dating.
Y'all know I'm awesome with it. I'ma dead this kid like an abortion clinic. Forget rap. I'd rather just fight, man. I'm digging your back and use your spine as a mic stand. You should have tried harder, cause I came to blow up the spot like suicide bombers. You think you hot? Let's take it out on the street. My punchlines make Rosa Parks get up out of his seat. I'm wild in the brain. You suck. Go hang yourself with that challenger chain, chump. I'm a monster raptor. I stomp you. I'll launch you towards a helicopter to watch the propeller chop.
Nah, that's crazy. Hey, that's crazy. Wait a minute. Here is Dayton, and it's probably doing that because of copyright. Blackout audio only. It's probably doing that because of the copyright. But we back, right? So with that being said, here is Dayton, who really has been in this arena, and it obviously wasn't as big as it is now. But him being in this arena, him doing these things, and he's often said, like, yo, like, I really can't do this, because if I do this, then it has to be that way. And I'm not going that way. So this is not for me. But you can often see that he enjoys a competitive spar. You can see these with these ciphers that he's been a part of. You can see this with the music that he makes. Dayton is very aware of what he's rapping about and why he's rapping, his whole purpose. Yet he still takes his craft very seriously, and still you can hear and you can see that if he wanted to take it there, there's something that could be done, and maybe even effortlessly. Like, this is taking a lot of effort for him to hold that back, to hold that portion of him back. So this is what he said a lot. So fast forward into this Kendrick and Drake beef. it had the entire Christian hip hop community in shambles. We had the typical discussions. You had a lot of people choosing one side, people just wanting to enjoy the art, people condemning artists being fans of the situation, and people just kind of say, hey, I don't care. Either way, this is just a dope situation in hip hop to be a part of. And this continued on after each drop was released. After each drop, the group chats blew up. After each drop, the topic began being bigger and people started to keep score. And as a fan of hip hop, I mean, you have to think about this. This is arguably two of the greatest artists of this generation having a sparring battle, much like Pac and Biggie, but yet in the sense of not really, because people claim that Who Shot You was not about that and was made before the whole situation or what have you, right? Yet you talk about Nas and Jay-Z, everything is water under the bridge, but we haven't had records back to back to back to back to back like this of people just fighting they took care of the entire weekend. You didn't want to be off of your socials because you didn't want to miss this drop happening. You became accustomed to these drops happening and the time for which that they was dropping. So this was a different era altogether. Shouts out to the streaming era, because this is what allowed these things to happen. So whether you care one way or the other, no matter your situation or your affiliation religiously or musically or whatever, you were locked in because this was one of the greatest moments in hip hop history. So Christian hip hop artists following this battle, not just the artists, but the fans are going to follow it. The vloggers are going to follow it. Outside of Christian hip hop, like, this was literally all that anybody could talk about. So with that being said, of course, somebody like Dayton, who values pens as much as he does, who values the art of hip hop as much as he does, of course, the casual fans are following this. So if the casual fans are following this, when you have two people who are considered two of the greatest people ever within this space, you are going to be invested. And that is what happened here. But then comes a couple days ago. Was it a couple days ago? Was it yesterday? Hold on. No, yeah, it was Saturday when the Hard Part 6 dropped, right? As people woke up and there were no drops and there were no responses, people then began to contemplate what they had been fed. And I don't believe it was like right after everything happened. I believe, much like myself, once you started hearing Meet the Grams and once you started hearing Family Matters, those two records were the records that, like I told you in the beginning, everybody has those things that they look past. Everybody has those things that they allow to slide. That isn't as much of a problem to them as some would say that other things are. Like, do you believe that that's a huge problem? Yeah, really, doesn't look that big to me, right? But it seemed like that everyone was universal in saying, yeah, this reached a level that probably it shouldn't have reached. Now, I don't believe anybody thinks that anyone is going to have harm done to them. However, the subject matters of both Family Matters and Meet the Grams were in a lot of older circles, previous beefs would have been grounds for, yeah, you might want to look over your shoulder all the time. With this, nobody really expected it to go there. At first, the records were just dope records, and it was just dope to see this happen. But a lot of people, after hearing The Heart Part 6 and after hearing Meet the Grams, there was just a different feeling about what we were hearing. When everything else dropped, Euphoria, Push-Ups, everything else, it was all fun and games. It was dope. It was cool, man. This is amazing. We get to be a part of this. We were alive to see it. That wasn't what everybody was saying by the time The Heart Part 6 dropped. And not The Heart Part 6, but Family Matters and Meet the Grams. And I believe I really heard it in Drake's voice in The Heart Part 6. He seemed exhausted. He seemed a bit disappointed. Drake sounded like somebody that hated that he had to do that with this friend, like that he was really losing somebody that he had a lot of respect for. But anyways, everybody was feeling the same way. You can see it all down the timeline of this. And so Dayton made a very interesting point. And Dayton said, where we at? So Dayton says, just speaking for me personally, all these diss tracks got me feeling in my spirit today. It's so easy to get sucked into all of this. I'm tapping out for now, gonna focus my attention elsewhere. I need to. I'm sure Twitter would keep me informed. Gotta dive in this word. And I found this particularly interesting because here's somebody who came from that world, who understands what it takes to have an opponent and write against them and to stand face to face with someone and have to exchange bars. Someone who understands the art of everything that's going on, someone who within Christian hip hop is considered to be one of the best pens within the space to say, yeah, this is where I get off. Because the thing is that especially with people within the Christian hip hop space, we allow room for, I definitely do, allow room for them to be artists who just enjoy hip hop. That's what I do, right? Just enjoy hip hop for hip hop. I already told y'all, I'm not really even caring about what they're listening to. It's just a certain vibe that they can give me that I enjoy. So a lot of people listen to this music and have these same situations. Yet this collectively of a moment that really should be celebrated by all hip hop fans in general has now had this kind of dampened feeling over it where it's like, yeah, this don't really seem right. Like at first everything was good, but this right here doesn't really seem right. But it was really interesting seeing how many people felt the exact same way. Very interesting for someone like Dayton, as I saw, was one of the first people to speak up about it. Now, Gray says something, just saying, Lord, I pray I don't have to get in a rap battle to hear truths about myself. And who knows, I don't see everything. Somebody else may have said something like this, but just in this alone, this shows that people have morality, that people have a line that they won't allow to cross, no matter how much of a fan they are, no matter how much respect that they have for someone, they're willing to draw a line. I think that that's dope. Why don't you all let me know what you all think? When did it get out of line for y'all? Was there a point that y'all got off the train, or did y'all ride it until the end? Let me know. It was definitely something big. It was definitely something huge. It was definitely something great. Oftentimes, we within Christian hip hop, or Christian hip hop in general, get sucked into these things. These are often the things that constantly divide Christian hip hop, because there are people who truly enjoy the art, people who enjoy listening to other people that's not talking about the same thing that they are, trying to listen for the new sounds that are out there, trying to make sure that they aren't getting left behind. I think that there are also people that don't indulge as much and are still making a splash within the space. So it's going to be a never-ending debate within this. But like I said, when it comes to Dayton, I found that very interesting because this is somebody that you can tell all the time that purely enjoys rapping, man. So big shouts out to him, man. Why don't you all let me know what you all think? I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I definitely enjoy y'all for joining me on streaming. Y'all have been great. Don't forget to share this. Don't forget to hit that like button. Enjoy everybody that was in the chat with me, man. And we are out of here.